described Russian Doll as being about a sort of a metaphorical bottoming out that you have a close relationship to.
Thank you.
What does that mean to you, and why were you ready to tell that story now?
I mean, it is a life. We live, we die. Why not sort of talk about that while we're here and try to make that a kind of, you know, a human experience? And of course, we love jokes because they're funny and they sort of relieve suffering. I love to be hyper analytical about what does it all mean and like what's the point and what is ambition and what is a life. I definitely wanted to make a show that kind of addressed that in sort of sideways stabs. It's my favorite language.
You've obviously been very open about your struggles, but I'm really curious about the sort of period right after, as you were trying to work your way back into Hollywood and you had to be willing to take sort of lesser jobs than you were capable of, and you had to have friends sort of vouch for you. How do you ultimately convince Hollywood to take you back? And obviously you did.
Oh, well, thanks, gang. And, you know, I mean, I think the simple truth also about, you know, in any conversation about recovery in general is that the truth is things take time. It's dangerous to think that things take, you know, oh, I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna talk about it, here I am, cover of Us Weekly, I'm better now, let's get back to business, you know? And I do think that additionally, as a woman, as a character actor, people were sort of, you know, it didn't mean as much on a box office level that like I'd left and now was returned. It didn't, you know, so I think it's kind of a slow build. If you just show up, you do the work, you kind of on time. It's like we're all entitled on the level to like dropping out at some point. You know, at least mine is sort of the tangible variety so we can like touch it and talk about it cleanly. But the truth is it gave me time to sort of re-assimilate as an adult human being in the arts and figure out who do I want to be in this game? What do I want to say? What do I want to do? What do I care about?
Yeah. Well said. So good.
So that's fun. You know what I mean? So it's actually a very lucky thing because now I'm like, you know, inspired to keep going.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Rather than feeling like they burnt me out. Now I'm like, now we're getting to make our things.
Yep.
You know, so it feels very different.
I learned a long time ago that I'm not a good solo writer. I have to write with another person. That's the way I write. And I have to stop shaming myself for that. I thought that being a writer meant that you went to your office and it was quiet and you did this and things came out of your brain and you were a genius. And I realized, no, I'm a loud person and I have to talk to you to get the idea out, and then you say something back to me, and that's how it gets written, and that's okay. And like, that's how I want to do it.
I think that's really what you're saying is really how I experience this question of like how you know you've arrived or something. Is this idea of sort of a self-acceptance or like a shamelessness around this is how I operate and how I function, and this is how I can deliver myself at my best, and like I'm excited about it, you know, and that feels very good. And like the idea that there's going to be a space and a hunger for what that content is revelatory. I mean, it's a game changer. After so many years of kind of nobody even caring at all, the idea that you can sort of say, this is how I make things, and people are open to it and not self-cudgel around one's own methods of doing it is game-changing.
I remember listening to you say that you regret not taking your clothes off more.
I stand by those statements,
But why?
Maya and I went to Hawaii in the 90s, and we had two lanky little tennis playing.
And you were complaining then, weren't you?
Yeah, visors.
That's
we're
the
wearing
worst
big
part.
Hunter S. Thompson aviators. We look so cute.
That's why
I was so scared.
Boobies up
Boobies
here.
up to here. I affiliated it with fear too early on to ever sort of shift it and be like, now at 35 is the time for it. You know, it just never made sense afterwards.
Complete the sentence. I do comedy because...
It's funny, and it's a way of disappearing from self. I think sometimes when things are funny and buoyant, the air gets kind of crackly, and you forget what existence is, and that's always the angle. It's always
That's the goal?
the mission.
Takes us further away from death.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
The inevitable.
It's a numbing agent.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I like that. Hi, I'm Natasha Lyonne. Thanks for watching the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable on YouTube.